My wife Aileen and I had been caravanning around the Australian states for a few years. No kids, no pets, no worries, except something was missing. Before, we'd always had a dog or two around us, and that's what we were missing. So when a couple of friends of ours who were in the Dunolly Caravan Park decided to get dogs, I reckon it was about time for us as well. Aileen wasn't sure at first, but when we went over to Bendigo in response to a puppies for sale ad and saw the parents and two remaining puppies, all doubts melted away. Rusty tells the story of his getting and naming in the first chapter himself, and the whole story is told in his words. G'day, that's how we say hi in Australia. I'm called Rusty by my friends, so I'd like you to call me Rusty too. Here's a bit about me and how I got the name. My mother was a beautiful Australian Silky Terrier, purebred of course, but my father was only a mixed breed, half Shih Tzu and half Maltese Terrier. Pete reckons that means I'm a mongrel, which makes my new mum A really cross. She reckons I'm a designer dog, but I don't mind being called a mongrel because some of my best friends are mongrels, and Pete sometimes calls his friends mongrels, especially when they find some gold and he doesn't. This is the Nissan Patrol on the edge of Lake Carey in Western Australia. The caravan is parked at the bottom of that little hill in the top right corner, and the hill is where this huge, scary wedge-tailed eagle lived and surveyed his kingdom. I had to wear a thing on my face called a muzzle because there were poison baits put around to get rid of foxes which were killing all the scrub turkeys which are native to Australia. The muzzle would stop me from eating bait, but it was totally uncomfortable. I got in under this bush, started to dig a hole, when all of a sudden there was a whooshing sound and a huge shadow was thrown over the bush. All I saw was a huge talon with needle-sharp claws reaching for me. It scared the daylights out of me, so I scampered around the other side of the bush and had a look at what was trying to get to me. It was a wedge-tailed eagle, and he wanted to eat me for his breakfast. When I got back to the stump, there was just an empty hole. The thing had gone. I told you that I was a good tracker, and it didn't take me long to find the scent. So away I went, nose close to the ground, sniffing my way along. Sometimes I'd lose the scent, and I'd backtrack to where I could pick it up, and then very carefully follow it again. Well, it wasn't long before I found the thing, whatever it was. It was slowly crawling along with its long snout poking into bits of wood and gobbling up the white ants. I quietly followed it for a while as I was curious about this thing that fed on ants and grubs, but I still didn't know what it was. The girls turned and ran away squealing with fright, and the swan kept on coming at them. They were terrified. I started barking at the swan, but he took no notice of me, so Pete slipped the collar off and said, "Go get him, Rusty," and I took off flat out, straight at the big Black Swan. He saw me coming and shifted his attention to me, thinking that he could scare me off. Oh boy, was he wrong. Sometimes the gold nuggets that Pete finds look like something from real life. He has found some that look like goldfish, a border collie's head, a shoe, and this one that he says looks like me. This photo shows one of the breakaways around Lake Carey where we found this beautiful nugget. Lake Carey's in Western Australia, just south from Laverton, and although we searched the area for 3 days, we didn't find any more. The gold weighed 4.9 troy ounces, and at the price of gold in those days, it was worth $7,000. I soon picked up the scent trail and off I went, following it until... Oh, what's that smell? Phew! That's a smell I know very well. It's cat piddle. Monty stopped here for a piddle, I thought. Yep, that's Monty's scent. He had a piddle right on this little bush, I thought. I knew that I was correct. Cat piddle has a different smell to anything else. But I was getting a bit worried. Monty was heading into dangerous country where foxes and dingoes lived, and he was only a cat. So I went on following his scent trail, hoping to find him. I thought Monty was going to a place where the little feather-tailed gliders lived. He thought that they were mice, and you do know that cats like to eat mice. The gliders are beautiful little things, all soft and furry, with a tail that looks just like a feather, and it's not right to eat them, even if you're a hungry cat. But Monty reckons if it looks like a mouse, it'll taste like a mouse.